Brad Johnson here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. So a lot of the things that we look at in retrospect pertaining to what we discover throughout our lives in regards to intolerances, in regards to insecurities, in regards to the feelings of cravings, addictions that we have in our life. What is it that we feel really causes those? Yes, we experience these when we start to grow up. We start to feel these when we're in childhood. We start to develop these types of senses of addiction, of cravings, of insecurities. But why are these happening? Why are these repeating? Well, the whole idea is if you're looking at the idea of a life stream, and basically what the life stream represents is your span of incarnation throughout everything that you have been. Now, there may be some people who say, well, you know, Brad, I don't really believe in past life incarnation or future life incarnation, and that's absolutely fine. But the whole idea here is you're looking at your life stream, even in response to your current state, where you are right now as a human being. Why some of us have a sweet tooth, why some of us are addicted to cigarettes, why some of us really have certain intolerances in regards to behavior. These are all part and parcel of what we have not been able to resolve within ourselves. So whatever we haven't been able to resolve remains as a very wavy form of ocean within ourselves. We start to feel all of these waves. We start to feel these enormous tides coming in. And we feel that we have to limit ourselves based upon the idea of saying that, well, I can't see myself quitting smoking. I can't see myself heavily indulging in snacks and sweets because I always have a guilt trip every single time when I put a cigarette in my mouth. When I start lighting up that cigarette, oh my God, do I feel so guilty. I know it feels good, I know it tastes good, I know that it just really brings me a lot of relief, but I really shouldn't be doing this. This really makes me feel bad. I really shouldn't be indulging in this cake. I really shouldn't be eating that. It tastes so good, it's so sweet, it's so rich, it's so beautiful, but you know, what is it going to happen? Now I'm going to face the repercussions after eating this cake. I really don't like the way that my neighbor behaved with me today. I felt that he was very, very rude, he was inconsiderate, and I love the guy, you know, I had some good conversation with him, but oh man, like he was just so rude to me today, and inconsiderate, and really just didn't appreciate my feelings or my perspective. And so here we are, just noticing our particular states of insecurities, our states of irrationality, our states of feeling that we have low thresholds of tolerances. So this is basically the rhythm of what we are repeating in this particular life. That all of those facets that we have once experimented with throughout this life or other lives beyond are all now starting to come back. They're all part of the challenge quotient, which I will just refer to as CQ. Your challenge quotient basically represents the matters that have yet to be resolved. So your unresolved matters through your challenge quotient is now coming through. So how do you feel you respond to these challenge quotients? Pertaining to these feelings of feeling guilty of having a cigarette, or feeling guilty after eating a very sweet snack, or feeling offended based upon your neighbor who has just been having a bad day. It's very, very easy for us to, you know, just trample upon ourselves and feel that, oh my goodness, this isn't right, this isn't gonna, you know, happen my way, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just an idiot, I can't do this right, I can't do that right, etc. It's really, really easy for us to throw ourselves onto the blame, or even throw this onto another person. My father made me smoke, my mother made me smoke. You know, my mom and dad raised me to be a big sweet tooth when I was young, and now I can't control it. It's always looking for an escape through the challenge quotient. So how do we settle those waters? How do we make those big, gigantic tides into a nice, beautiful, tranquil ocean? The whole idea here is understanding that everything you're doing holds a degree of purpose that you have assigned. So if you're going to go outside and have a cigarette, are you going to feel that, well, I'm going to have this cigarette and I'm just going to feel really, really bad afterwards? Why do you decide to have that cigarette? Does it feel good? Does it provide release? Well, yeah, it feels really good. It provides release. So why can't that just be the focus in regards to you smoking the cigarette? When you have a piece of chocolate cake, does it taste good? Do you enjoy the taste? Is it very, very just warming and moist, and it feels just fantastic, and like your body is just resonating with its deliciousness? Well, yeah, it does that. So why can't you just allow yourself to feel that sensation without repercussion? You see, this is exactly how you're able to smooth the waters. You are performing these particular forms of situations, these manifestations, these challenge quotients through yourself to realize, I'm doing this because this is what I enjoy, this is what I love, this is what I appreciate. And so if you start to develop and adopt a mentality of what really feels good in your life, everything that represents those challenge quotients pertaining to negative influence, pertaining to negative aspect, pertaining to unresolving matters, slowly start to fade away. The negative no longer has a grasp on you so much. And you begin to discover more and more of what is beneficial for you. It could be that the cigarettes themselves start to become less and less. You start to realize the epitome of their sensation, and that you're able to adopt a similar substitution based on what they have brought to you, because all you're doing now is looking in regards to their benefit. I feel very, very positive. I feel very, very centered. I feel very grounded when I have a cigarette. And that's my own understanding of having that cigarette. I feel very free. I just feel wonderful. I feel amazing when I have that piece of cake. It feels so great. My taste buds just are, dancing a happy dance. And that's it. And that's my idea of why I have that. So again, it's the societal programming. It's a societal belief that we make it feel that if we do something wrong, if we feel that, we're lighting up a cigarette, oh my goodness, this is going to, kill my lungs. This is going to give me lung cancer. I'm going to have throat cancer. I'm going to have all of this. If I eat a lot of chocolate cake, oh my god, I'm going to put on so much weight. My thighs are going to get so heavy. My belly is going to get so heavy. Oh my god, it's going to be just absolutely horrible the next day. And that's what we're putting into that energy. We're seeing that I'm going to go do this because this brings me release. I'm going to go ahead and do this because this just feels beautiful. This is art in my mouth with the cake. But then we sabotage it. We create it, oh my god, I'm going to face the repercussions later. I hope I don't get lung cancer. I hope I don't get throat cancer, blah, 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 blah. So this is the whole idea of how we're throwing all these particular unresolved matters that become the tidal waves, that become the rough waters. So what do you feel that you can do to resolve those rough waters? Is by looking at the challenge quotient. Just by taking a piece of paper or however you want to do it, and being able to look at your life and saying that, well, how have I felt in regards to this, which I feel represents an addiction? This addiction is here because this is what I get out of it. Now, what's the positive and what's the negative that you feel about that? Well, the positive is that it brings me release. The positive about it is that I feel very, very balanced. I feel very, very centered. The negative is I worry so much. I worry about my health. I worry about how this is going to impact me. I worry about how this is really going to take its toll. So the whole idea here is you're attempting to find the middle ground. So if I'm a very, very heavy smoker and I feel that I'm constantly releasing myself because I can't handle certain degrees of stress, then is that something that I feel that I need to run to the cigarette? Am I using the cigarette as an escape rather than a joy? So is the cigarette holding a hierarchy over me rather than me feeling that I am utilizing that cigarette as a prop to bring myself into center? Is it all about me bringing myself into center? It helps to bring me into a center because I'm looking for an escape. This is the silver lining. So we're discovering the silver lining between the positive and the negative. And then when you fully understand that maybe I don't need to run away anymore, maybe I don't need to escape the stress rather than being able to look at it right in the face, or I'm going to indulge in desserts and I'm going to run away from that. That's my escape. So the whole idea here is that you can always smoke a cigarette, you can always have a joint, you can always eat a cake. You can always have that feeling where on one particular day, one person really can't bond with you and there's anger there, and that you feel guilty about it or you feel angry about it. Because again, you're missing the point. You're missing the silver lining. So when you connect to the silver lining, you're going to realize that everything really just represents a prop. If my neighbor gets angry at me this morning, I realize it has nothing to do with me. And you know what? It doesn't matter anymore, because now I'm not carrying that guilt, I'm not carrying that anger around with me all day. Well, Bob, the next door neighbor, you know, he had a really, really hard time last night. I could hear him and his wife fighting, and he was very, very angry. And he's just waking up this morning because he still feels that anger inside his heart. You know what? I forgive Bob. I understand the challenges he's going through. And I'm going to send him lots of love today, because I know that his anger toward me had nothing to do with me. It was based on the situation that he has attracted, based on that drama that he's creating through himself. So I'm not going to take that personally. I realize that when I'm smoking this cigarette, it's not about the centering itself altogether. It's the feeling that I've always had to escape. I've had to run away because I can't handle the stresses of life. So what if I rearrange that? I rearrange that now to where I can purely enjoy the cigarette, as it's part of my center. It's bringing myself back into a center point, and I'm realizing the benefits it's bringing me. I have no motivation other than the intention of joy to have the cigarette. And you'll notice that your cravings will reduce. The same with eating, with snacks. It's all the same formula. So look into your challenge quotient. Look into how you can discover the silver lining with yourself to resolve these unresolved matters that have been hanging around, perhaps even for a great deal of time. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Brad Johnson. If you have any other questions on this topic or any other topics, please feel free to email me at info@consciousmatrix.com. Thank you again for watching. Take care. Blessings to you all. Namaste.